Hello everybody, welcome back to Soul Reaver 2. Now, we are somewhere. Lord knows where. But it looks like we've got a poozle. I'm gonna... Okay, so I can't do that just yet, that's fine. In the last episode, guys, we met Janos Audrin, a pretty pivotal character. Ah. This is the Fire Forge, isn't it? Oh, gosh. Oh. Okay. So, quite clearly then, I'm going to have to try and do this on a time limit. Oh, there's another cauldron over there. Okay. Okay. So what's the deal here then? Have I got a... Okay, I think I've got to go and get the Air Reaver. Oh, no, it's the Light Reaver. Okay. Oh, hang on. Wasn't there a crystal? To shoot at. There we go. Is that what I need to do? Yes, it is. She's got the sun glyph on it, look. Oh. Okay. Okay, so I think I've got to make it over to that other cauldron over there. So far, so simple. He says. Okay, let's try that again. I'm guessing I'm going to have to bring a torch over. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I need to glide straight so that I can... There we go. I think. Okay. Not the best angle to be at, but there we go. There we go, got there in the end. So I'm guessing now I'm going to have to go back and... get some fire. Fire. Did it again. This has been really easy. Like, the other forges were way harder than this. Oh god, now what? Oh no. Have I got to get a... shoot that thing again. Okay. I think the idea is I need to weave. And then over to that one. And then to this one. And then over to the forge itself. There we go. Okay, that wasn't actually that hard. When you know what to do, it's not that difficult. You know, like when you've worked it out, it's not that hard. You just got to work it out. That's the difficult bit. Cool. Oh, hang on a minute. Is that looks like me? That statue behind me. That was a big old show. Didn't get that much of a show last time, did we? That was a cool puzzle. I enjoyed that one actually. That was probably the most enjoyable. That definitely looks like us. Yeah, look, it's got the Fire Reaver as well. What is going on?
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace and forged the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued, I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
Cool. Right, before we do anything of the sort, let's go save. So where are we? Because we don't actually know where we are. Oh crap.
Hold him!
Ugh. Ugh.
Look at his black heart. How it still beats.
The fiend intends to bury us alive. Raziel, we must get out of here.
It is us. I thought it
Remember the
was.
sword. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you.
No, Raziel. Perhaps this was my true purpose. Simply to save your life this once.
While I have taken yours.
Embrace your destiny, Raziel. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
As I backed away from Janos's body, I was overwhelmed by a sense of self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it. In that instant, I rejected all that I ever was, and embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had to do, the task for which I was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the Sarafan dogs to their loathsome fortress and avenge Janos Audrin's murder. Mobius would pay dearly for his treachery, and my Sarafan brethren would reap the horrors they had sown. I would retake the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid, I would reclaim Janos Audrin's heart from their filthy, unworthy hands. If the heart was truly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife, its highest purpose was clear to me. I would restore the heart to Janos, and thus undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former self.
So that's that then. We are Janos's murderer and his savior. How weird's that? How screwed up is that? I mean, what a reveal, right? Ugh. Why does he keep... There we go. That's the second time that's happened, where he's not glided when I've asked him to. There we go. There we go, Raziel. See, it's easy. I do wish there was a transportation system in this game, though. I really do. Oh, great. Here we go. Oh, look.
Expecting you, little Raziel.
So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corrupted future, for here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These creatures, I suspected, were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me. This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty for my disobedience.
So maybe there's something to do with the Elder God then. Because, I don't know, seems the most likely. Nice. There we go. That's what I wanted, to get some health and also to calm the Reaver down a little bit, because he was getting a little bit fruity.
Do you really think you can say Noskov? Let me enlighten you, poor Raziel.
It's one thing with these guys. The Reaver is very good at getting rid of them. Because you can just break through all those defenses that they put up. Problem is, you've got to watch how thirsty it's getting. Keep forgetting Raziel knows Kung Fu. I've got to be honest, I'm really not interested in fighting you guys, to be honest. I just want to get back to the fortress. It's a long walk. Three fire demons.
The savior of Nosgoth.
So they can talk. Okay. Will I? It's nice. Where are the others? Come on, I want your soul. Oh, damn it. Oh, I plan to. Damn it. I knew it was going to end badly. There we go. At least in this realm, I can still drain the soul. Not poignant at all, putting it in a... I could have sworn there was 3 of those demons that popped up. Oh, have I lost the Fire Reaver? Oh no, that's alright. Ah, there was. It's that move, it hurts. It's almost got like a Dark Souls vibe to it, fighting those guys. You gotta like dodge and do all your bits. Ooh.
Closer, Raziel.
Is this different? He's definitely bigger. And stupider. I'm sure he was bigger than the other fire demons. Okay, this is interesting. There's no water. Funny you dudes, though. Raziel, come on. Air Forge, which means that's for that. Okay. I think we're literally having to climb our way back because there's literally no water at all. The other issue being I can't see because he's so dark. Unless... I always think that's the answer, and I always think it's wrong. I always find out it's wrong. That's where I need to go. Sometimes it's not as straightforward as it seems, huh? Should we get the Fire Reaver back? Why not? It's giving it to me. Why the heck not? Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not just go plunging into the abyss, huh? Oh! For that level of cheek.
You have failed me, Raziel.
I wonder, Old One. Did you truly resurrect me, or were you simply there when I awakened from my torment in the abyss? I suspect you found me merely convenient, dropped in your lair by Kain, indestructible for some reason, a durable and gullible tool for you to manipulate. This one thing I readily admit. I have been used by others time and again, but always I seem to stray from their path. What is it about me, demon, that makes me such an unreliable instrument? Why do I survive one trial after another, on and on, in an endless succession of humiliating deaths and resurrections? It seems there is much more to my destiny and my history than I know. Perhaps more than you know as well.
Oh, there's little demons here now as well. Okay. Right, let's go save and move on. I'm going to cut loads out of this because, to be honest, a lot of the fights are pretty uninspiring. Right, let's head towards the pillars, which is that away. There's only 2 doors, GK. Alright, we just reached the pillars, so I just thought I'd start recording again just in case something happens. It looks like something is going to happen. What a surprise. Ah.
He can change his destiny. What a fool.
There we go. So there was actually an achievement there. Basically, I didn't know that was coming, but I knew you had to try and kill 3 demons within, I think it's 60 seconds, and that's hard. So I thought I'll weaken them first, then do it. Okay. My soul was forfeit long ago. And again, their mates just let it happen. It just amuses me. Finally back. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Now, if memory serves, we need the Light Reaver to actually get in. So let me go save very quickly, and then... I think we're getting near the end, guys. We must be. God, I wish the saving didn't take so long. Yeah, we need the Light Reaver, don't we? Cool. I've got no patience for you guys anymore. Can I high jump up there? No, of course not. That would be far too convenient. I won't be able to glide from there, it's way too far. There's a fire forge. I'm going to need to get up there, go across, and go across there. There we go. Right, let's head in. Alright, let's make our way in. Not mess around with these scrubs. if it takes you that long to realise there's a vampire in front of you, or whatever we are, a wraith, then really the only one to blame is you. There we go. I needed the health. Oh, joyous day, Kalukale. Take care of her first.
Guard me, brothers.
They don't seem to care. Put the sword down. Thank you. That's not a knife. This is a knife. There we go. There's a door on the left. Yeah.
Suddenly
Ooh.
and inexplicably, I discovered the Reaver suspiciously laid across my path. Again, I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel.
Maybe it's because we're meant to be
Cornered
here.
with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled to seize it.
So, Raziel, here we are finally. You have no choice but to confront me now, and I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Seraphim to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malik, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the Circle. Poor,
Malik.
deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the time streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
Call your dogs! They can feast on your corpses!
Lord Mobius, there is trouble within. The Circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik. This one is the real danger to us.
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine I'd simply allow you to run loose, corrupting everything you encounter?
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. But it's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Raziel. Now, Malik, bolt the door.
Using his staff to disable my Wraith Blade, Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
That is a moment from Blood Omen, so when I do get to that, because I will get to it.
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Kain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephyr, the weakest of Kain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these two.
Whoa, I'm not taking damage. At all. Is the Reaver, like, keeping me alive? I'm invincible. How can that be? It must be the Reaver. Bloody good job, and also I'm taking a thrashing off these pair. Yeah, I take the damage and it's just restoring me every time.
As Melchiah and Zephan fell before my blade, I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
Interesting. Kind of takes the pressure off the fights, I guess. I do prefer the physical Reaver. It's such a badass looking sword. So we're going to fight all of our brethren again, but in Sarafan form.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get through us first.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed. Exhilarated by the Reaver, I was drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Kain's blasphemous private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Kain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
So realistically then, the Sarafan that we knew, they're not anything special per se, they're just Sarafan. I always had it in my head that they were like captains or something. I suppose it makes sense. We were like this task force. Oof. It's that halberd every time. The sword I can dodge if needs be, but... so difficult to dodge because the Reaver is just so heavy as a weapon. I mean, I'll give them the due, they've got some tanky health bars, but that's about it, really. Alright, that took a bit longer. Interesting, isn't it? I don't get to drain their souls. And it's not the Reaver taking them either, so I wonder what's going on there. Notice as well, there's no boss fights in this game. At all. Not that I've encountered thus far.
Get back to the pit you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Turel, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard. The vampire Turel had eluded my vengeance. The Sarafan Turel would not.
I was going to say, he doesn't appear in the first game. You see his tomb, but he never really appears. Ooh, getting some meaty hits on you, my friend. It's pretty easy when there's only one of them. Oh, he took a battering, he did. Really cool that you get to fight them, but I say, yeah, there's no real boss fights in this game. It actually centered around boss fights in the first one, but this one doesn't have it. Lots and lots of just generic enemies. Not a bad thing. It's probably why the combats felt a little bit more repetitive in this game, whereas in the last game it was a bit more like there was a big event around it. Oh, here we go.
So, vampire. Here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me. You'll find I'm not such easy prey. I don't want to kill you, but I will if I must. Return the heart to me, and we can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you? Apparently I am. No, vampire. This is where it ends, but you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos? No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Ordrin turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass?
This is weird. I have thoughts about this, I'll be honest. The whole invincibility thing is good, but it does make the, I'm assuming what is the final fight very trivial. It doesn't feel very conclusive. I mean, it might not be, I don't know, but it feels it. Feels like we've been building up to this.
I renounce you. And so it ends. My history comes full circle. Sensing its twin, the Wraith Blade uncoiled itself from me, and instead wound lovingly around its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation gathered like a storm at the edge of my awareness. With all other foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing when Janos offered me the blade. The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me. This is why the blade was destroyed when Kain tried to strike me down. The Reaver could not devour its own soul. The paradox shattered the blade. So, this was my terrible destiny. To play out this purgatorial cycle for all eternity. I could not bear it. Despair overwhelmed me. You. Are you enjoying this game? Don't fight it, Raziel. Give into it. Was this your destiny for me all along? Trust me. I felt myself weakening, unable to hold on any longer. The Reaver was too strong. The compulsion to simply let go, too great. And then, a growing sense of vertigo and the familiar displacement. The paradoxical moment when my twin soul hovered both outside and inside the Reaver blade. This was the instant, the glimmer of temporal distortion Kain had been counting on all along. This was the edge of the coin, the minute flicker of probability upon which Kain had gambled everything.
Now you are free to reclaim your true destiny, Raziel.
Behind Kain's eyes, I could see new memories blooming and dying as history labored to reshuffle itself around this monumental obstruction. And I could see by the dawning horror on his face that perhaps we had strained history too far this time. That by trying to alter my fate, he may have introduced a fatal paradox.
My God. The Hilden. We walked right into their trap. Raziel, Janos must stay dead.
But Kain's warning was lost as I slipped into the spirit realm, too weak to maintain my physical form. And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. And I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.
That was awesome. That was awesome. That final cutscene was fantastic. That's the storytelling I missed from Soul Reaver 1. Oh gosh, right, okay, let's unpack all that. So, basically, Raziel is the Reaver. He's the soul that's within it. He's the vampire, the wraith that's trapped within the Reaver. The reason, like he said, that he didn't feel anything when Janos gave him the sword in the first place was because it hasn't happened yet. Don't forget, we're in the past, but we're not far in the past. We're just far enough that Raziel hasn't been killed yet, so his soul hasn't been introduced to the Reaver just yet. Now it has, obviously. And Kain is gambling that by Raziel impaling himself on his own Reaver, that's going to reshuffle history, which it has. He's realized that something else is amiss, which is something called the Hilden, which is actually something for game 5, which is Defiance, which I won't be covering just yet. I want to get Blood Omen done first. I'll be honest, I like this game less than Soul Reaver 1, and that is only because... Sorry, I punched my microphone then. That is only because I feel that the combat is very repetitive. There's a lot of backwards and forwards, and to be honest, the world itself isn't actually that big. It really isn't. You only visit about 5 places in the whole game. Now, do I think for a second that it's a bad game? Oh hell no, it's an awesome game. And it's a great remaster of a good game as well. The music I thought was less inspired, I'll be honest. I missed the Ozo Madrashim from game 1, and I also missed there's an awesome sort of track that plays right at the start. It doesn't really feature again throughout the whole game, which is a shame. But it is what it is. It's still a good game, and it's still a good story. This was the game where actually I felt like they actually gave you a solid conclusion to events. Obviously, Defiance picks it up pretty much straight away. And Defiance is actually quite interesting because you play as both Kain and Raziel. They switch positions quite a bit, and it's interesting because you get to see the same story but from 2 very different perspectives, and you get a final look at Kain's agenda. Simply because I don't know where the music went, but simply because from Blood Omen 1 you don't really get a lot of his agenda. He's just a vampire. He's just on a mission, and once that mission's over, he has to make a choice: damn Nosgoth or save it. And obviously, canonically, he damns it. It's only really Blood Omen, and Blood Omen 2 doesn't really delve into his destiny story much. It's more of a sort of a follow-up. Blood Omen 2's more of a, this is what would happen if this happened. It's a paradox game. It's still good. I've said it a few times. Probably the least good of the 5, if I'm honest. I think Blood Omen 2 is quite repetitive, and the story's okay. It's a bit strange, but it's okay. Blood Omen 1's pretty cool. It's an old game, but it's a pretty good game, and I'd love to cover it. I want to cover Blood Omen 1 and 2, and then I'll do Defiance finally. But no, great remaster. Great. This and Sorry for One, fantastic job. I'll be honest, there's a couple of parts in this game where I was a bit like, what the hell? Like when we're stuck in that little cavern bit in the village. It just felt very bit of a forethought. No, that's the wrong word. Bit of an afterthought. That's what I meant, not forethought. It's the opposite. But no, great game. Really enjoyed it. Like I said, a bit repetitive, if I'm honest. I felt like Soul Reaver 1 had better placement of things. Like when you visited a clan, it felt different. So when you visited Zephon's clan, Makai's clan, Rahab's clan, and they all felt very different. And also you felt like you were progressing because you got more abilities as you went. Notice that the Constrict ability wasn't in this game at all. Actually, it wasn't in the original either. Sorry, Reaver 2. It wasn't something they took out for the remaster. They just didn't put it in. Don't know why, because he had a lot. He had the climbing, he had the phase shifting, he had the. Did we do any gate shifting actually? Yeah, right at the start. That was the thing. We did that right at the start, and then we forgot about it. A bit strange. We could swim. So yeah, it seems a bit strange. But yeah, all in all, and the performances overall, fantastic. Mobius is such an ass. Like you learn to really hate him by the end of this game. Start of the game, you're not too sure about him. You maybe think, maybe he's a bit of a con artist, but maybe he's not too bad. And then as the game goes on, you start almost to feel for him a little bit. And then right at the end, you get that whole sort of like, oh, you're a dick. But I had a good time with this. I thought it was interesting. I've never actually finished Soul Reaver 2 before. I knew the story kinda because I have played Defiance, but so I kind of knew ish what was coming, but it wasn't a dead cert. This happens here. This happens here. I thought the Forges was a good idea. I thought the Elemental Reavers was great. I thought the puzzles were a bit long. If I'm honest, it felt like, especially the Air Reaver one, it felt like it went on a bit. Maybe I added an hour or so to the game that didn't really need to be there. But again, that might be because I was arsing around with it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I think we finished the game in about 8 hours. I know there's an achievement that says about doing it in 6. I think it's very doable. This is the track I was talking about. This is awesome. This is an awesome track when it gets going. All in all, I think I'd give Soul Reaver 1 like an 8. I think I'd give this about a 7. I think Kain was always my preferred protagonist, of the two. Because I didn't always like the puzzles, but then now I'm older and I'm okay with puzzles more. Maybe that's why, I don't know. Anyway, if you want to see me do Blood Omen, guys, I'm looking at covering it. If you want to see me do it, leave a comment. I know this hasn't been the most popular series on my channel. I didn't care. I wanted to play this game. I want to play all 5, to be honest. So I hope you appreciate that. And if you're not interested in Soul Reaver, you wouldn't be listening to this. But if you're not interested in Soul Reaver, obviously, I can only do 2 games at a time. I have to fit this around life. So, which has been, challenging at times. So, thank you very much for those who have watched it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. I hope this has been a worthwhile series to watch. If you want to see Blood Omen and eventually Defiance, let me know. And if you haven't checked it out yet, do go check out Dino Crisis if you like a bit of survival horror. If not, I will see you for the next series, which will be starting very, very soon. I'm not going to spoil it here. I will let you find out in a few days. So thank you very much. Have a great day, and thank you so much for all your support. It means a lot. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.